Good afternoon, students. I welcome you all for the class. Today, we are going to see the working of 8085 microprocessor. So, in the last class, we have seen the addressing modes, and the prior to that, we have seen what is the architecture of 8085, how the architecture seems to be, everything we have seen in the previous class. And now in today's class, we'll be going to see the actual working of a microprocessor. Let me clear you. The computer system is different and microprocessor is different. Inside the computer system, we'll be going to have a microprocessor which is going to do all the things, fine? So today we'll be going to study how the 8085 microprocessor is going to work. So in the working of this 8085 microprocessor, like we have seen different fields over here, fine, like what is an instruction register, decoder, everything we have seen by the definitions. And today we'll be going to see actually what it is going to happen, how the processor is going to execute a particular instruction, how the processor is going to return the result to a particular output. So everything we'll be going to see in the today's class. So before going that, let me tell you, so what is an instruction? So instruction means like a set of commands which are going to a computer in order to do a particular task, right? So in order to execute any particular instruction, there we need three steps are going to be required. As I have said you, what are the three steps in the sense? So here, three steps are going to be done. What are the three steps? Fetch, and the second one is decode, and the third one is execute. So these are the three steps in order from a raw information to like executed output. So these are the three steps we need to follow, right? So here, when we are going to talk regarding a particular instruction, an instruction has to go through all these things: fetching, decoding, and executing. So here, we'll be going to have a memory. Fine. This one is memory, and this is the microprocessor. So now we are going to talk regarding 8085 microprocessor. So in this microprocessor, the important fields are, the first one is PC, next one is IR, and next one is resist. Fine. These are the three important fields in the microprocessor. So in the microprocessor, each and every microprocessor, like you will be going to have these important things. What is the PC in the sense? PC is nothing but a program counter. So what is the task of the program counter? So the task of the program counter is, it is used to store the address of next instruction. Fine. The task of program counter is, it is used to store the address of next instruction. So that is the task of the program counter. So instruction register and instruction decoder will be there. Fine. The instruction register, what is the purpose of the instruction register is, so here this register is instruction decoder register. So first, what is an program counter in the sense? Program counter holds the address of, this is very important, address of next instruction. Fine. Program counter holds the address of next instruction. Instruction register holds the current instruction. Decoder is going to decode the things. Decoder in the sense, why? Because in when we are going to talk regarding the microprocessor, we are going to write all the programs in assembly language. But our computer does not understand this assembly language. This assembly language has to convert into machine language, which is understandable by the computer. What is the machine language? 001 011, like this binary language is the machine language which is going to be understandable by the computer. Fine. So here, when we are going to talk regarding the 8085 microprocessor, here the we are going to have the system bus, right? We are going to have system bus. What is the system bus? System bus consisting of address bus, system bus consisting of data bus, and the system bus consisting of control bus. So all these three, we call it as a system bus. Fine. So in this 8085 microprocessor, here the address bus is of 16-bit, data bus is of 8-bit, and control is of 8-bit. Fine. What is the purpose of the address bus? Address bus is used to hold the address. So with that address, it is used to fetch in the memory. So that is the purpose of the address bus. Data bus carries the data, and what is the control bus is going to do is, control bus is going to perform the read, and it is going to send read at the right signals. What the operation we have to do? We have to read the data or we have to write the data. So that control signals is going to be given by this control bus. So address bus is of 16-bit, data bus is of 8-bit, and the control bus is of 8-bit. So here in the memory, we are going to have data stored over here. So here 2010, 2011, 2012, like here our data has been stored. So here, whenever the CPU wants to execute, first what it will be going to do is, so it will be going to check the program counter. Program counter in the sense, program counter holds the address of the next instruction. So here the program counter is going to have 2010. So 2010 in the sense, the CPU will be going to execute this instruction. So after first, what the CPU will have to do is, CPU have to fetch the instruction in the memory. So CPU, by taking the address in the program counter, it is going to fetch that particular instruction in the memory. So this is the memory, as I have said you before. So after fetching, so here the fetching is done. After fetching, what we have to do? We have to decode it. So that fetched instruction is going to be stored in the instruction register. So after instruction register has the current instruction, then what we are going to do is, we are going to decode the instruction. Decoding in the sense, converting it into zeros and ones. So while this decoding and executing is going to be done, at the same time what the program counter is going to do is, it is going to be incremented by 1. So the program counter is going to be incremented by 1, so that, so here the initially the address is 2010. If it is incremented by 1, the address is 2011. So now the program counter holds the address of 2011. Now, after decoding the instruction, the CPU has to execute the second, 1, 2, 3 instructions are there. The CPU has to execute the second instruction. So what the CPU, from where it will be going to get the address? From program counter it is going to get the address. So by taking the address 2011, it will be going to fetch where the 2011 is. So here it is going to have 2011, and that instruction is fetched and decoded. So in order to decode, that instruction has to be placed in the instruction register. From the instruction register, we are going to store that instruction we are going to store that, give that instruction to the instruction decoder. Decoder will decode the particular instruction, and then we'll be going to have the final output. So this is how the instruction is going to be executed. So this is the basic concept how the program is going to be executed. So when you people are going to write a program, you have to keep in mind that, so first our address is going to be there in the program counter, our starting address. So the CPU is going to take that address and fetch it in memory. After fetching, decoding should be done. After decoding, executing should be done. So these are the three steps we need to follow when we are going to have the instruction to be executed. So this is how the instruction is going to be executed: fetching, decoding, and executing. All the three signals are going to be done. And next one is, let me tell you, uh, so 8085 address bus. So when we are going to talk regarding this 8085 address bus, this 8085 address bus is going to have the uh, fetching, decoding, and executing cycles. So here fetching, in the sense, it is going to fetch the data, and next it is going to decode the data, and then we are going to execute the data. This is how any instruction in 8085 is going to be executed. So here in this 8085 we are going to have a 16-bit address bus, and data bus is of 8-bit data bus, and then we'll be going to have the control bus is of 8-bit control bus. So this is how we'll be going to have the address bus, data bus, and the control bus. And in this 8085 microprocessor, we are going to have 7 resistors, 7 general purpose resistors. What are the 7 general purpose resistors in the sense? A, B, C, D, E, H, and L. Each and every resistor is of 8-bit. Each and every resistor is of 8-bit. So when it comes to the accumulator resistor, so this accumulator resistor is of 8-bit, which is going to ALU is of, not this resistor, ALU is of, accumulator is of 8-bit. So that's the name. We are going to say that 8085 is the 8-bit microprocessor. So here A, B, C, D, E, H, and L. So A is the accumulator resistor. A, B, C, D, E, H, L are individual resistors. So when we are going to talk regarding the individual resistors, individually it is of 8-bit. Individually it is of 8-bit. When we are going to talk, when we are going to hold the 16-bit of data, we are going to make it as a pairs. That is BC pair, that is it holds the 16-bit data. DE pair, which holds the 16-bit of data, and HL pair, which is going to hold a 16-bit of data. So BC, DE, HL are the resistor pairs which are going to hold the 16-bit of data. So this is how the resistors in the micro 8086 or 8085 microprocessor are going to be done. Now I'll be going to tell you how the working of 8085 microprocessor is going to be. So here, uh, so this is the working of 8085 microprocessor. So when I am going to tell you the working of 8085 microprocessor, Smiley, ఇది కలిపేయమ్మా ఆ కట్టన్ లోపలికి కట్టన్ లోపలికి బుక్స్ తీసేసుకొని గట్టిగా. And now I'll be going to tell you the working of this 8085 microprocessor. So first, which resistor is important? As I have said you, This program counter is the register which is very, very important. What the program counter will do? What the program counter will do? The program counter will hold the address of next instruction, right? So when the CPU want to execute any instruction, so it is going to take the address of this instruction and send that address to the address bus. Here we are going to have the address bus A0 to A15 and AD0 to AD7. So why we are going to have two address bus? So as I have, so if it is an 8-bit data, so this one address bus is going to be enough. If you are going to have 16-bit of data, here this address bus is going to hold 8 bits and this address bus is going to hold the 8 bit. So here AD0, A stands for address bus and D stands for data bus. Here this address bus and data bus are multiplexed. Why? Because only at a time either we can send the address or we can send the data. So if you are going to send the 8-bit address bus, in the sense 8 lines are going to be required. If you want to send the 16-bit, in the sense 16 lines are going to be required. So if you are going to keep separate lines for address bus and separate lines for data bus, it will be more clumsy and it is very difficult. So that's the reason. So anyhow, either or at a time only address we are going to transfer or data we are going to transfer. So that's the reason we are going to have the multiplexed address and the data bus buffers. So multiplexed in the sense, so address and data bus are going to be multiplexed. So here that address is going to be uh, send over here. So CPU is going to send the address to the address bus and this address is going to be fetched in the memory. After fetching that address in the memory, this address is going to the data which is reside in that particular address is going to be sent to the database. So from here, this database. So from the database, we are going to store the data in the accumulator. So this is how we will be going to have the thing. Suppose, for example, if I want to add, uh, a comma b. If I want to add a comma b. So no doubt in 8085, first operand will be stored in accumulator, a register, and second operand will be stored in either of these registers. So it is mandatory that first operand should be stored in a register. A is the accumulator register, so which is used for storing the first operand. So now if I want to add A and B, in the sense, so A data will be stored in accumulator. Suppose A value is 20 and B value is 30. So here what it is going to do, so this instruction is going to be stored in the, so here that instruction is fetched, right? That instruction is going to be stored in the instruction register and then the instruction is going to be decoded and then it is going to give to the control unit. Now what the control unit will tell is, it is going to send signals to all the registers present in 8085 microprocessor. So what the signal, it is going to say that A register, you keep the data in the database, and B register, you keep the data in the, here register select is there, only one register is going to be selected. B register, you keep your data on the database, and arithmetic and logical unit, like what it is going to be do, it is going to do the task. So here the B register, what it is, the B register is holding 30. That 30 will be placed in the temporary register and first operand A operand data 20 will be placed in the accumulator. So this 30 data and 20 data is going to be given to the accumulator. What the arithmetic and logical unit will do is, it is going to perform the add operation. So 30 plus 20 is 50. So this result, what it is going to do, this result it will be going to send to the through the database and it will be going to stored in the accumulator only. So that is how an operation is going to be executed. Suppose, what is the purpose of the flags over here? Suppose the flags, in the sense, in 8085 we are going to have 5 flags, as we have seen before. So zero flag, carry flag, parity flag, auxiliary carry flag, like that we are going to have 5 flags. So if we want to know the status of it, status in the sense whether the result is positive or whether the result is 0 or there is any parity generated, if you know the status, we need to check the flags. If we want the result, we need to check the accumulator. Why? Because accumulator is the special purpose resistor which is going to store the final result. Store the final result. We are going to store the final result in the accumulator itself. So this is how the accumulator is going to be working. So accumulator is going to hold the first operand, and at the same time accumulator is going to hold the result. So these are the two things that an accumulator is going to do. And what is the purpose of the timing and the control unit? In the sense, it is going to send all the control signals that what the control signals, in the sense, uh, these control signals, like we are going to do a read operation or whether we are going to do a write operation. So these operations are going to be sent by the timing and the control unit. Fine. So that is the timing and the control unit. And interrupt control, in the sense, from outside any interrupts are there, the interrupt control is going to do. So these are all the pins of 8085 microprocessor. So these pins we are going to see in the pin diagram. So this is how the actual working is going to be done. So let me give you another example. Suppose if I want to do subtract b comma subtract b. Subtract b, in the sense, so in the accumulator we are going to have the some value, that is 50. Subtract b, in the sense, we are going to subtract a minus b. Why? Because the first operand should be in the accumulator. When I have given that subtract a minus b, sub a comma b, or else here if I specify sub a comma b, what it is going to do is, so first this program counter is going to be incremented by 1, so that it is going to have that instruction. And then that address to be fetched is going to be given in the address bus. The CPU is going to fetch in the memory. The data will be placed on the data bus, and then the data is sent to the instruction register. So instruction register, after instruction register, it is going to send to the decoder. Decoder will decode. It is a sub a minus b. What the timing and control unit is going to do? It is going to send signals to all the registers in the 8085 microprocessor. It is going to tell accumulator to keep its data on the data bus. So accumulator kept 50, and B register or B or C register, whatever it may be some D register. It is going to tell the D register to keep its data. So D register is having some 10. D register is having some 10. So this D register is going to place the 10 data. So this data will be stored in the temporary register temporarily. So this temporary register is only used by the microprocessor, not by the user. Now subtraction operation has to be done. So both the here 10 will be given and here 50 will be given. So here 50 minus sub operation, in the sense 50 minus 10, that is 40. This 40 is going to be again stored in the accumulator register. Like this, the operation is going to be done. This is how the actual working of 8085 microprocessor is going to be having. Fine. If you are going to have any doubts, please ping me personally so that I can clarify your doubts. Thank you all students. Have a great day.